Chef Buff Army, how's it going? That creepy intro hides an awesome video because today we're focusing on how to master a lift. In other words, how to get better at one particular exercise. A squat, deadlift, bench press, military press, whatever the case may be. The way I see it, there's essentially 4 key components to becoming awesome at a lift. 1. Mastering the technique. Easiest way to immediately increase the pounds that you're lifting on any exercise is to master that technique. You have to learn that lift. And I mean continually learning about that lift. You can never truly perfect a lift. You can only get better at it with time. Case in point, I've been bench pressing for quite some time. My 1 rep max is around 315 pounds. And just recently, I made 3 fundamental changes to my technique that has improved my bench press dramatically.
Let's analyze Chef Buff. So what we have going on here, I have a slightly too close grip for how low I'm bringing it. I should be bringing it lower. Why? Because look right there. My wrist angle is a little too inside my elbow. It's not perpendicular to the floor. As well, I didn't have a back arch. So this is the improper form. Not optimal. It's not bad, but it's not the best that it can be. Now watch this. I slightly widened the grip, slightly lowered my bar placement. My angle at the bottom is perfect now. And you will notice a much better, it's kind of hard to see with the t-shirt, back arch. Not overly excessive like a powerlifter, but sufficient to have a tight, stable base to push off of. This immediately helped me. Analyze that tape.
Yo, that footage was fucking bullshit. You aren't going to failure. If you don't have a knowledgeable dude to help you out in person with your technique, the best thing you can do is film yourself and analyze that tape. If you look at any top athletes, such as football players, they're constantly analyzing their own footage. You should do the same for your workout. Who gives a fuck what anyone else thinks if you're filming yourself while you're exercising? Set your camera down and then bring it home, look at that footage and see where you went wrong. Learning the lift and getting your technique down is the fastest way at becoming awesome at that lift and lifting more weight. Break that lift down. Every single lift has multiple phases. For instance, the back squat. You have the unrack, you have the descent, you have the bottom stretch position when you're about to explode up, the exploding out of the hole, the drive portion, and then finally the lockout. Once you break down a lift into its different phases, you can find out where you're the weakest. For instance, if you have problems locking it out on the bench press, the final 3 inches, it's most likely because you have weak triceps. Therefore, what you need to work on is tricep power and locking out. Which brings me to the 3rd fundamental point, assistance exercises for weak areas. Now that you know where you're weak from looking at your lift, it's time to fix those weaknesses. An assistance exercise is simply an exercise that will assist with your main lift. As an example, if you have a non-existent ass, fate was cruel to you, then you need to be doing sumo deadlifts, glute bridges, reverse hypers, glute extensions, working on building those glutes. The first type of assistance work is more muscular based. So if you have weak triceps, improving your triceps. The second type of assistance work will be simulating that exact portion of the lift that you're weakest at and then mastering it. So once again, on the bench press, say you have problems locking it out, the last 3 inches, so your triceps are weak. What you'd also do, in addition to training your triceps, is you do a top half rack bench press. This is where in a power rack, you set the bar approximately say 6 to 8 inches above your chest. So you'd only be doing a half bench press. This is going to allow you to practice that exact same movement at the sticking point that you have. By focusing on assistance work over time, your weak areas will no longer be your weak areas. 4. Lastly, volume and frequency. In order to become amazing at an exercise, you have to do the exercise a lot. You have to groove in those motor patterns so that exercise becomes second nature for your body. We all know what it felt like when we were first squatting and deadlifting. You're like, fuck, is this wrong for my back? I personally believe that for any movement you want to become good at, you should be doing it at least 1 time a week. Most likely twice a week. You could be doing variations. So let's say back squats on Monday and front squats on Thursday. Whatever the case may be, volume and frequency, doing multiple workouts on that lift is necessary for mastering that movement. Guys, it really is that simple. Focus on those exact 4 points. Mastering that technique, breaking down the lift, analyzing where you're weak, and then doing assistance exercises in order to fix those weak areas. And lastly, getting sufficient volume and frequency over time to become very neurally efficient at that lift. I did this exact same process with my deadlift. In over a 5-month period, so approximately 20 weeks, I managed to increase it by about 115 pounds. Guys, thanks for watching the video. Hope this explains how better to master lift. Post in the comment section below some advice you'd give to trainees about mastering a lift. And as always, make sure to like, share with friends, and subscribe. I'll be seeing all you guys in the next video.